I copied what I considered to be successful. You lose yourself when you blindly follow the general opinions of everyone else. This is going to cost you relationships. At one point, I had to ask myself, what is more important to me, like living truthfully or just being likable? There was something really accurate that I heard about people who are people pleasers. I'm just paraphrasing this, and what it said was people who are engaging in these people pleasing behaviors for the sake of peace, they don't recognize that they are derailing a part of themselves. While it might feel fine in the moment, later when you're reflecting, it feels so bad. Like, why the hell did I act like a doormat? I gotta stop doing that though. Growing up in an Indian household as the youngest child with an older sister who was a gifted kid, and she exhibited like uncanny levels of intelligence for a child, it meant that the bar for getting praise from adults in my life was already set super high, and ultimately I was overshadowed by her achievements a lot. I became aware of this pretty recently, that my subconscious adaptive strategy to this was that I would copy everything that she did. It's not limited to just an adaptive strategy. Imagine being at that impressionable age. I'm talking about ages before the age of 8. Someone else is getting all the praise and you're getting royally ignored by your family and teachers. I wanted the attention, so I copied her. And this meant that all throughout my childhood, I was doing the same kind of things as her, the same kind of sports, similar-ish extracurricular activities, trying to do as academically well as her, but like kind of failing at it, listening to the same kind of music she was listening to, and wearing her hand-me-downs. As I got into high school and grew away from her influence a little bit, my strategy basically remained the same. I copied what I considered to be successful. I tried to emulate something external to me, what I thought was better than me. Just to give a few examples, let's say if I started watching TV shows like House MD or Grey's Anatomy, I would dream of becoming a doctor. And I actually did dream of becoming a doctor. When I read books about successful companies and entrepreneurship and people becoming millionaires or billionaires, books like biography of Elon Musk, I dreamt of starting my own company like them. When I started reading books about spirituality, the end goal became wanting to become enlightened. And more recently, I've been in this pattern for quite a while. I work with so many like startup co-founders, and hanging out with them, talking about tech stuff, my dream became wanting to start my own SaaS company, maybe go for an MBA or try to get into FAANG to become a 10x, like a proper engineer. And all of this is without deeply questioning who I am, what I actually like, what my aptitude is, what my preferences are. Even the choice of studying computer science in college, I like it, but it's not because I'm like super passionate about it. Like literally for the simple reason, it was the popular choice when I had to choose my major. I wrote this in my journal recently and I wanted to share this with you guys. You lose yourself when you blindly follow the general opinions of everyone else without ever analyzing what you really like, who you are, and what really fulfills you. Honestly, the answers to huge questions like who am I, what am I living for, like answers to these do not come overnight. I'm not even expecting it to come overnight. I know that it's not easy to answer when you've been trained against it for over 20 years. How do you get back to the sense of yourself when you have gone so far away from your natural inclinations? I believe that the answer to that is you start by admitting honestly what you truly like, what your preferences are, and those have to be like strong preferences, what you cannot stand and what you stand for deeply in your core. I think this is how you start to develop that core sense of identity, something that should have happened in my childhood but did not happen because I didn't feel like it was a safe environment to do that. But now I get to do that, and I also want to encourage everyone else to do that. Like it can start small. For example, I love citrusy fruits. I love citrusy smells. I love fruits like lemons, strawberries, oranges, anything that is high in vitamin C. I love those. I love K-pop music. Especially recently, I've been listening to a lot of hype groups and SM groups. Under hype groups, really love Enhypen, New Jeans. Under SM, it's aespa and Rise for me. I love listening to subliminals. I have felt that they have made a huge difference in my life. I'm gonna be talking so much more about it. One of the things that I really dislike is someone who thinks they are good looking and thinks because they're good looking is entitled to stuff, you know what I mean? Like they don't really put as much effort into life as others just because they think they can get by using their pretty privilege. This is why I really like K-pop idols. Not only are they so beautiful, they're insanely hardworking. Moving on to something that's a bit controversial. I grew up reading all kinds of things, and one of the things was gay fan fiction. I'm a huge fan of BL dramas. I love Kim Ji-woong from Zero Base One, and while I'm totally straight myself, I love the LGBTQ community, and I will always support them. You know, for the last 3 months or more, I've been going to a church. Even though I'm really enjoying my experience at the church, I will always stand for and with the LGBTQ community. I will always support them. And the reason for that is because I stand for love, truth, and authenticity. I think feeling so strongly and honestly expressing my likes and dislikes, knowing that there's gonna be people who are completely polarized by that, knowing that it's gonna ruin my relationships with others, it's gonna cause conflicts, that is not going to stop me from honestly expressing who I am and what I stand for. That's not gonna stop me. But I would admit that the prospect of losing people does scare me deeply. Losing connections. Connection is one of my highest values, and losing connections after I've put my truth forward is really hurtful, but that is the price you pay for authenticity. I have avoided this for so long, lied to myself for so long about who I was, and for a long time I just could not accept myself. Like, obviously there's good things that come with this sense of security in yourself. Like, finally you have this sense of identity, and finally you can start making some serious decisions based on reality. 2 years ago, I would have gone for a master's in the US to study computer science even further and try to get a job in FAANG. I still want the money. I want to do it for the money. I really do want to earn FAANG level of money, but even though I do enjoy software engineering, putting myself through that hell again, I don't want to do it. The bad thing that comes out of finally being your true self is that it polarizes people. This is going to cost you relationships that you have maintained for so long with family, with friends. People are either gonna love you or people are either gonna hate you. There's gonna be some people who will be like, I don't really agree, so let's just agree to disagree. They're basically lying to themselves. When you're actually honest, you stop being super likable. At one point, I had to ask myself, what is more important to me, like living truthfully or just being likable? It's still worth it to be who I truly am, even if no one likes me. One of the things that I wrote in my notes was, what comes along with this is a sense of what you're supposed to be doing and the courage to finally do it, because you can't not do it. This life is super short. I think it makes no sense to waste any more time doing something that actually makes you miserable. I went to Lotte World, which is one of my favorite places in Seoul. I really enjoyed it because it was enhypen themed. Okay, you should watch it.
You need that one, right? This is the smaller one. Sorry. This one. It's called gyro string. And it's like scary than gyro But for this ride, we can hold it. Okay. Put your hands into the pocket. Or next, and I don't know what to. Like, that's not the I also want pictures over there. Okay, how should I? Favorite song? there? Can we see from there? I think. Closer? A little bit closer? I think that one, right? You know the Lotte Mall? Lotte Mall is right there. It's right there. Ah, okay. I want to take this style of picture. That's on one picture that I showed you.